in the farm work for their unchanging team spirit and determination. Speaking on behalf of the youth, Langdabo Jiva declared that working on any of President Jammeh's farm is vital since the proceeds are reinvested back to the public in many ways. The youth leader also thanked GPA and the Refugee Association for their active participation over the years. Coordinators of refugee affairs from the Gambia Red Cross and Red Crescent Society dilated on the importance of food in the maintenance and sustenance of refugees.
This work today has fulfilled one of the pillars of the 3 pillars of food security, which is availability of food. We have availability, access, and utilization.
The Vice President of the Refugee Sufferal Association, Mabintu Sani, expressed gratitude and appreciation for the continuous help they have been receiving from the Gambia Red Cross and the government particularly. She, however, appealed for basic building materials like corrugated iron sheets and more farm tools required in reinforcing provisions. The GPA Deputy Director of Training and Development, who doubles as the farm coordinator, Karamo Bakari Jani, underlined the importance of diversity in crop production, emphasizing that crops such as Findi should be aggressively cultivated because of their nutritional value.
Right now we are at the Findi farm. The President has given directive that people should grow Findi, because Findi is good and it's healthy and it's our local food. That's why we also decided that this year we will grow as much as possible. We've taken 2 farms this year.
The Dobong farm manager Biran Kamara hailed the efforts of GPA dock workers, the people of Dobong, as well as other participants and refugees from Buyam and surrounding villages. Kamara also conveyed hopes of a bumper harvest despite the swarm of worms in parts of the groundnut farm. Farming, as emphasized in the President's Back to the Land call, is one sure way of arresting hunger and food poverty. The engagement of GPA's dock workers in this critical sector could hugely boost food productivity and the Gambia's food security drive. Modu Bajan, GRTS.
The Gambia has been playing host to a 2-day capacity building program organized by the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa. The forum that attracted delegates from various English-speaking ECOWAS countries underlined sub-regional efforts to tighten the news on money laundering. Abdullah Baji witnessed the opening, and he now tells us more.
On intergovernmental action against money laundering, the center of attention here is on professional accountants designed to provide international standards for the implementation of relevant legal practices. The forum is expected to provide stakeholders with a guidance framework to effectively battle against criminals by clarifying and strengthening the existing threats posed by money laundering, which continues to be a major hitch to economic growth. The national representative of GAIBA in the Gambia highlighted that the workshop couldn't have come at a better time for the country, as major steps have been taken in this legislative enabling farmer actions, ensuring conformity with the law.
The workshop could not have come at a better time, at a time when FATF just revised the standards in 2012, at a time when the Gambia just enacted a new anti-money laundering legislation in 2012, at a time when the Gambia Association of Accountants repealed the Accountants Act of 1991 with a new financial reporting bill.
Money laundering in West Africa is often used to support terrorism and financial crimes, which can greatly threaten the stability of a country's financial sector and undermine its political foundation. Studies have revealed that the world has lost trillions of dollars attributed to illegal activities linked to money laundering.
The worldwide estimates of the amount of laundered money annually ranges between 700 billion to 1.8 trillion dollars. This is about 5% of the world's GDP. Mr. Governor will be interested in these statistics. A study revealed recently that developing countries lost between 585.9 billion and 918.6 billion annually over a 10-year period between 2000 and 2010. In another study by the African Development Bank and the Global Financial Integrity, it was revealed that Africa leads the rest of the developing world, having lost between 1.2 and 1.4 trillion dollars over a 30-year period.
Corruption continues to hinder the growth of economies, especially those in developing countries. The program is meant to critically raise capacity, presenting wider solutions, assisting accountants to prevent and reduce money laundering in every aspect of the economy.
The effects of corruption in every facet of the economies of the countries represented here cannot be overemphasized. And no doubt we all agree that the tactics of those who have by corrupt practices enriched themselves illegally in bringing in the gains of these corrupt tendencies into our economies must be resisted and made mission impossible in order to reduce negative impacts on our emerging economies. As active participants in the economies of the nation states represented here, accountants have multiplicity of roles in national, regional development, and therefore should reaffirm the obligation to assist in this resistance crusade. Capacity building being offered here by GIABA for the accountants is highly appreciated.
The governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia cited key issues underpinning sub-regional monetary security concerns.
Workshop, which, to a great extent will help build capacities of accountants in combating money laundering, terrorism financing, and other related economic and financial crimes. Money laundering, to put it simply, is the process of making the proceeds of crime to appear to have legitimate origin. The proceeds or wealth to be laundered can be generated from a number of criminal acts. In the past, money laundering was mainly associated with the trafficking in drugs. Today, the designated categories of offenses are numerous and include, among others, sexual exploitation, trafficking in human beings, corruption and bribery, fraud, currency counterfeiting, and most recently, tax evasion.
Professional accountants can never be complacent when it comes to organized crime and money laundering, and with modern-day criminals getting ever sophisticated and daring, engaging stakeholders besides the development of capacity could immensely help meaningful progress, realizing good economic growth. Reporting for Grts News, I am Abdullah Baji.
Now, over the years, the Inter-African Committee, IAC, in conjunction with the UN system and the international community, has been spearheading a string of initiatives to address traditional practices deemed harmful. Well, GAMCO TRAP, in its fight against violence, FGM, and other issues inimical to the health of women, recently organized a media advocacy forum to popularize UN Resolution 67-146, which bans FGM and early marriage. Aisatumane reports.
Established in 1984 to fight violence against women, female genital mutilation is one practice the body strongly discourages as an issue affecting the lives of girls and women in the society. This workshop gathered 30 media practitioners from the various media houses within the country.
We are not here to indoctrinate you. We are here to give you the information so that you can use your critical minds to question some of the various elements. You have been in the debate for quite a long time, and over 30 years GAMCO TRAP has engaged, like the chairperson has said, and we've gone through a lot of advocacy work.
While many see FGM as allowed for the Islamic faith, there are those who hold the view it is a harmful traditional practice that only augurs well for gender inequality and child marriage. The efforts being made in the Gambia are the same efforts being championed by the national committees of the IAC in other countries such as Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Senegal.
We will give you the basics of what you need to build up on the already existing knowledge that you already have, on the already experience that you have been exposed to before then, so that it will sharpen your analysis, as you said. It will make you engage in the advocacy without any doubts and without any fear, because knowledge is power. You need to get the information to make the right decision, to make the right choices, and to be able to convince the people that matter, and yourselves, because you have to get the information to empower you, and for you to be convinced first before you can convince others. If you are not convinced, you can never ever convince anybody.
It is envisaged that the participating media personnel will popularize the content of the UN Resolution 67-146 as part of efforts to intensify global efforts geared towards eliminating FGM through their exposure to modules